Jai Shri Ram. The two important shlokas which were given as replies by Bhishma when Yudhishthira asks what amounts to Brahminicide without actually killing a Brahmin. So, in the Anushasanika Parva Mahabharata, Yudhishthira asked the question, and the two very striking replies are Bhishma says, anyone who doesn't study the scriptures but finds fault with them commits Brahminicide. Next, anyone who causes pain and suffering to Brahmins is also guilty of Brahminicide. Note that Brahmin has already been defined. Brahmin is defined as a person who is a friend of all creatures, who is a teacher of all creatures, and who is noble by disposition. And so, briefly, Bhishma listed these qualities. He said, Brahmane darunam nasti. Brahmane darunam nasti. That means a Brahmana is one, or one who does not cause any suffering to anyone. He has no malice and who does not harm anyone. Such a person is a Brahmin. Brahmano dharanam nasti maitro brahmana uchyate. And a person who is a friend of all creatures, obviously, he will not eat meat because killing an animal is obviously the worst kind of sin, because no animal wants to lose its life. You are depriving an animal of its life when vegetarian food is available in abundance and plenty. So anyway, that's a different debate. So Brahmane darunam nasti maitro brahmana uchyate acharya sarvabhutanam shasta kim praharishyati. So, and Brahmin means one who is a teacher of all creatures. That means who is widely read and knowledgeable. So, if somebody is merely claiming Brahminhood because he was born in a Brahmin family, but who has no knowledge and he is very cruel, he is a hypocrite. He is not a Brahmin. So, Acharya Sarvabhutanam Shasta Kim Praharishyati. And a Brahmin does not obviously punish anyone in a very cruel way. So, this is the gist of who really is a Brahmin. So, if one causes pain to such a person who has all these qualities, then that amounts to Brahminicide. So, the shloka is Adharma nirato mudho mithya yo vai dvijatishu dad dhan marmatigam shokam tam vidyat brahmaghatinam. So these are the two important shlokas where Bhishma explains what amounts to Brahminicide. Of course, the earlier other ones we have already listed. The other ones are inviting a Brahmin and refusing to give him charity, and then destroying the means or livelihood of Brahmins, and putting impediments in the way of cattle which are thirsty, preventing them from drinking water, and not offering one's daughter to a suitable bridegroom. And then one who scams others, especially robbing the physically challenged or mentally challenged, looting. Such people is the worst of all scams. That is Brahminicide. And setting fire to forests or to the hermitage of ascetics, or even in any village or town, indulging in pyromania, arson, that is also equivalent to Brahminicide. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. In the Mahabharata Anushasanika Parva, Yudhishthira asks Bhishma a question like this: what are those circumstances under which a person becomes guilty of killing a Brahminicide, without actually killing a Brahmin? So, what is tantamount to Brahminicide is the question. Because killing a Brahmin is considered the worst of all crimes. So, Bhishma's reply is very interesting. First, Bhishma says, if anyone invites a Brahmin to his house to give him alms, charity, and then refuses to give anything, on the pretense of there being nothing in the house. That is equivalent to tantamount to Brahminicide. Next, anyone who destroys the means of livelihood, living of a Brahmana, and who destroys all the means of study, the libraries, then that is equivalent to Brahminicide. Next, anyone who places impediments in the way of thirsty cows which are engaged in drinking water, that is tantamount to Brahminicide. Next, and this is the most interesting one, anyone who without studying the Shrutis finds fault with them. That means a person who has not studied the Gita properly and finds fault with Gita and Krishna, such an activity is tantamount to Brahminicide. So be very careful. Study the Gita properly. Read the right commentaries. Do not cast aspersions on the Gita or Sri Krishna, because that is the worst of all crimes. That is equivalent to Brahminicide, as Bhishma says. And next, Bhishma also lists, if one does not confer upon a suitable bridegroom, if one does not confer his daughter on a suitable bridegroom, then that is Brahminicide. And anyone who causes pain, suffering, trauma to Brahmins, that is equivalent to Brahminicide. And those who rob the disabled, those who are blind, lame, and not mentally sharp, that means all these scamsters who loot people, gullible people of their wealth, that is equivalent to Brahminicide. And finally, arson, setting fire to the hermitage of ascetics, or setting forests on fire, or indulging in arson in a village or town. So setting the hermitage of ascetics or forest on fire, or generally indulging in pyromania, that is equivalent to Brahminicide. So what exactly is Brahminicide? Yudhishthira was asking, without killing a Brahmin, what amounts to Brahminicide? I think the most interesting one given by Bhishma is one who does not study the scriptures but finds fault with them. One who does not study them properly, or doesn't study them at all and then finds fault based on the propaganda that is, created by Hindu haters and all the atrocity literature that is being churned out by these Abrahamic cult authorities or theologians. They're busy casting aspersions on Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana. So this is equivalent to Brahminicide. So as a Hindu, please be careful. Do not commit any of these which is tantamount to Brahminicide. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Anushasana Parva. Indra is speaking with Matanga Mahamuni. And in the conversation, Indra says, Brahmanaha sarvabhutanam yogakshema samarpita. Brahmanaha sarvabhutanam yogakshema samarpita. Brahman, the Brahmana is, as regards all creatures, yogakshema samarpitaha, one who is dedicated to helping others acquire what they prize and value or covet and desire. And also, the Brahmin is one who is a protector of what they have already acquired. That is the duty of a Brahmin. Indra is replying to Matanga, Brahmanaha sarvabhutanam yogakshema samarpita, who is dedicated to the yogakshema of all creatures. Jai Shri Ram.